Gaming and Tech is up next, and in Gaming and Tech we have one follow-up starting things off. And actually, now that I think about this, this might not be a follow-up because it's not exactly what I thought it was. We talked about the Twitter subscription service, but that was the subscribing to content creators side of things. This is subscribing to Twitter announcements. So it's called Twitter Blue. They've rolled it out in Canada and Australia, which is a strange collection of places to roll this out in alpha. It's a subscription service that costs you about $3 US, and even so, it's still going to have ads, so I don't know exactly. They haven't told us what the new features are going to be if you are part of Twitter Blue, but apparently there are going to be different things that you can do with your Twitter if you join up for Twitter Blue. So maybe it'll be worth it, because again, the ads aren't going away, so why would I want to pay $3 to have a Twitter account? $3 a month to have a Twitter account just doesn't seem to add up. We will definitely be keeping tabs on this as we get closer to a more widespread rollout. And right now it's also only on iOS, so if you are in Canada or Australia and you're part of this beta, that means you have iOS, an Apple phone. Apple device, I guess, is the more appropriate term. They are working on the Android app for this, as well as, again, rolling out in more countries than just the two. We will see if this is a good idea for Twitter. Next, we're talking about actual gaming news, and this one is not video games. This is actually tabletop, which we do cover here on the show from time to time when there's something big that's happening in tabletop. And tabletop is getting much more interesting these days, especially now that Marvel is rolling out another tabletop RPG. Marvel just a couple of years ago rolled out their first D616 based RPG. D616 is the system that Marvel has created for their own personal tabletop games. This one is, I'm going to say it wrong, so I got to read it. The Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. It's a big mouthful. It's all simple words, but man, big mouthful. So there are very little details known about this, aside from, obviously, if it's a multiverse game, then it's going to deal with the multiverse. And it's Marvel, so all of the Marvel characters. Maybe not the Hulk, but that's all changing, isn't it? We'll get to that. It's going to be rolled out in 2022 sometime, and again, going to be based on their D616, which obviously is a reference to the Earth Prime number 616 as assigned to our Earth in the comics. Our last piece of gaming and tech news has to do with another comic book house. This time it's Dark Horse, though. Dark Horse has just announced a games division. It's going to be called Dark Horse Games. It's going to be the digital branch of Dark Horse Comics. So they're going to not only get into actual video games, but also into digital entertainment media. So webtoons are being planned. Actual series on streaming platforms are being planned, so it's a little bit more than just gaming, but gaming seems to be where they're going to focus, as they have multiple projects, according to the announcement. Multiple projects are in the works, multiple irons in the fire, if you will. They are creating relationships with development studios that can actually do the footwork of developing games for them, and then they give their sign of approval, they give the license to use their characters, so on and so forth. And then we get to play fun games. Hopefully. We shall see if that is the way things go. But that, my nerds, is gaming and tech for this episode.